All right. So once you have all of your disposal report information entered into the database, whether you've chosen to upload this data or to manually enter this data, the next step that you have to do to be able to submit your reports to CalRecycle is you have to enter all the facility reports for the landfills in your county. So in this example, we need to submit facility summary reports for L&D landfill and Sacramento County landfill. We don't need to enter a facility summary report for Lockwood landfill because that is located in Nevada and not in Sacramento County. So we don't need to enter a facility summary report for that landfill. The easiest way to tell exactly what landfills you need to enter facility summary reports for is by going to the Facility tab. And then noticing that there are no facility summary reports entered, you go Add a Facility Summary. And this will prompt you with all the facilities with disposal reporting data in Logic as of right now. So you want to make sure that you have all of your disposal reporting data into Logic before you take this step, or else they won't. Any landfills that you haven't entered yet won't be on this list. So we're going to go with L&D landfill first. And this is going to populate with all the data that we have entered into Logic up to this point. So this is all the data that I just entered. What you want to do is, oops, what did I do? Okay. So what you want to do is you want to check these totals to any totals that you might have on your own disposal reports. So like 195 accepted, that agrees with my facility summary report. But before we get into this too much further, let's actually look at a real facility summary report, which would be, if you go to the disposal reporting system homepage, you can go to templates, quarterly summary reports by facility, and you can open this guy up. And this is going to ask you for all the information that we're currently looking at, so accepted, excluding soil, disposed, soil used on site, recycling or composting set off site, capacity data, methods used to determine jurisdiction of origin, tracking data, and then ADC, AIC, and other. There we go. So you will normally fill this out, and then you can fill out the form on Logic from this form because all of the fields here correspond to the fields in Logic. And an example of one. So this is one that's been filled out by Trashina Bagans, my favorite person, and she's put in all of the information according to her facility, and then you can use this to then fill out your Logic form. So now we're going to go back and we're going to fill out our Logic form. So again, you want to make sure that your total tons accepted and your total tons disposed is equal to what you have reported, because this is coming directly from Logic. And so we've double-checked this against our own FSR, and we know that these are equal to what we said. So then you hit, so this is, again, accepted excluding soil, but if you did use soil on site, this is where you report it. So we're saying that we used 50 tons of soil. This is tons set off for reuse, recycling, and composting. And if you forget what that is, the question marks again will tell you what the definition of that is. In our example, we had 10 tons. And as you can notice over here, what this form is going to be doing is it's going to be calculating a total disposed, and what we want is we want this calculated total to equal our tons disposed total. And right now we have a 20-ton difference, but obviously it hasn't taken into account our tons set off site for reuse, recycling, or composting, or beneficial reuse. So as we fill out this form, we should be getting rid of this difference. So next it's going to ask for your tracking frequency. We're going to choose daily. And then this is going to be methods used to determine jurisdiction of origin. And you're going to check all that apply. So if you do all of these things, you're going to check all of them. If you do one of these things, we'll just check one of them. So if we're going to leave it all of them checked. And then for this next part, you're either going to complete 1A or 1B or item 2. 1A and 1B or item 2. So if you just try to put in 1A and you try and save, it's going to tell you that you also need in-place density. But if you only want to fill in one of these, or if you have information for airspace utilization factor, you only have to fill out the one field, which in our example is what we're going to do. And then finally, as well as accepted and disposed, ADC and AIC are both calculated from the disposal information that you put in. So this is the 20 tons of glass that we entered in that one in our example, and this is the 20 tons of green waste that we entered in our in another one of our examples of manual data entry. And so we can see these two have populated in this table. We also have some beneficial reuse to report as C and D. So we're going to go over here on this in the C and D beneficial reuse field. We're going to go with 10 and we're going to save. And we're going to notice that it says their summary has been saved successfully, and that is because this difference right here is now 0. And if you ever have a question about what anything in this table means, it also defines itself not very well here. In staging, it doesn't let us look at it properly. But what you're going to see is it's going to take the total tons accepted, all of your ADC, all of your AIC, all of your tons sent off site, and all of your other beneficial reuse, and it's going to subtract these guys from your accepted to get a calculated total. And this calculated total should equal your total tons disposed, because disposed plus ADC plus AIC plus accepted, or sorry, yeah, so total tons disposed plus ADC plus AIC equals accepted. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I got excited. Okay, so, but you want this difference to equal 0, and sometimes it won't. So we're going to add another landfill summary to see some situations where it might not. So since we've already filled out our L&D landfill, it's not prompted here because we've already filled it out. So we're going to fill out our Sacramento County landfill facility summary report. And again, we're going to see that 100 tons and that 75 tons we already entered for accepted and disposed. And we're not going to see anything in ADC or AIC because we didn't enter any ADC or AIC for the county landfill. So again, we're going to fill out any soil we used on site. So we're going to say 10 tons. Any recycling that we sent off site, which we also said was 10 tons. Our tracking frequency was daily. Because this is, in my fictional world, a smaller landfill. We only obtained our origin information haulers at the gatehouse. And in this example, we're only going to fill out this field. Remember, if you're using this, you have to fill out both, not one or the other. And we also have some green material to report as beneficial reuse. And now we're going to save. And it's going to say, whoa, your facility totals are out of balance. You need to enter a justification in the justification notes. So we're going to notice that this total difference is 10 tons. And what I'm going to notice is, as I'm looking at my FSR, is that this total tons accepted in the disposal report information they entered was 100, but on my FSR it's 90. So I have to figure out why this is different. And in my case, it's because on my disposal report, I accidentally entered soil into my accepted. So to do this, I can actually enter my justification here. I can say soil and accepted. But just saving it like this is not really a good idea because you want to try and report the most accurate information that you can. So if you save this, what you want to do is you want to go back to your data entry and actually change that record. So here's my Sacramento County landfill with 100 tons where it's supposed to be 90. I'm going to go in here, hit edit, and then go 90 tons. Then I'm going to save. So then when I go back to my facility summary report, the difference is now 0. Now sometimes this difference, because it is so very particular, it might be 0.01 or 0.012. So other good justifications, so let's say now it's just only 0.01 off, I could go rounding and hit save. And that would be a good justification. But when you enter in those justifications, you do want to try and fix any of these differences if you can. For instance, since I knew that I had added in soil into my disposal report, I can go back to the disposal report record and change that so it's more accurate. So when it totals it up for this facility summary report, we have an accurate facility summary report. And when you go to your facility page, you're going to see that both of your facility summaries have been done. If you go to add facility summary, you're not going to have any more facility summaries to enter, and that's how you know that you've entered all of your facility summaries.